Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Let me adjust my mic here. Hey, I have actually platinumed this game. Welcome to a new Let's Play. This is Trials of Mana. Alright? This game actually never came out until this modern release of it. Now, I've seen a lot of reviews. They aren't as modern. They got review copies and so on and so forth. We're going to actually play through this game together. I have platinumed this game, which you need a minimum of 3 playthroughs to even do so. I want you to understand this came out in the early 90s as Seiken Densetsu 3 back on the Super Famicom. Super Famicom, that's our Super Nintendo. So please enjoy the intro, which is spot on to the original. Trials of Mana. You're going to hear me say mana and mana, but it's mana. How did you like that intro? It is so faithful to the original. Alright, here we go.
Seiken Densetsu 3 Trials of Mana.
Now, a couple of things. I've done this intro like 5 times. Alright, so, couple of things. Please, I don't crap on any voice actors in America, but switch it to Japanese. The reason why is because they didn't have that much direction, and the voice actors just it was mediocre at best. But switch it to Japanese. I love the background music, and let me explain why. I put the sound effects down so it doesn't drown out the background music. It's beautiful music. You can hear it in the background right now. And what's cool is you can actually change it to the original. So check this out. This is the remake. This is the original. You can definitely tell with the remake, remaster. I still don't know the difference. You guys can let me know in the comment section below. But you can hear that they were just simply taking the instruments, and due to the hardware limitations, now that they have something to work with, they can actually use it and utilize it. So with that said, I'm going to put it on remake for now, but let me know in the comment section if you want me to switch it back to the original, okay? Alright, like I said before, let me cancel this. Nope. As you can see, there we go. I platinumed this game. I know you guys gonna have an OCD hissy fit. I know OCD is a real problem, but that you can't go higher than 99. Me too. I had that problem too. Anyway, that's in the future. Let's get started with Trials of Mana. Alright, we're going to do a new game. Now, I'm going to let you guys see the character profiles when this happens, but first we need to talk about the difficulty. This, and this, wash it away, alright? Just play the game on hard mode. It will not be fun if you played on any other difficulty, and let me explain why. Each and every one of these difficulties, you'll be one-shotting any and everything, period. It won't teach you anything, it won't teach you dodging, it won't teach you magic and stuff like that, when all you have to do is just run up to a person and push the action button, right? I'm playing on the PlayStation 5, so I get trophies and stuff like that. This game's also on the Switch and stuff like the PC and all that. But with that said, it's just way better to just play it on hard mode. And that's not something that I'm just saying like, oh, you're gonna have to do it for pros or something like that. No, I'm actually being honest. You can test it yourself. And please, play along with me. Let me know your experiences with the game. Another thing I wanted to point out is, at any point in time, you could push start and change the difficulty, okay? With that said, let's get started. Now, here's the characters' profiles. And while you guys read the characters' profiles, I'm going to actually show you guys how this functions. So with that said, there's 6 characters all together. And you can read it on the top left. You have Duran, right? You have your main character, and you have 2 side characters that you're able to pick. Now, with that state, this is Duran. This is Angela. Okay? With that stated, they do have a bio where they talk about magic, healer, attacker, defensive, I don't care what it is, right? At any point in time, you can do what's called a class change, and you can make any character the way you want. So you can make any one of these guys that were supposed to be the powerhouses just healers, so on and so forth. And we'll get to that once we get through this playthrough. But right now, I just want you guys to read through all the bios on the top left. Okay? With that said, I've got 3 people that I haven't picked in order. Back in the Seiken Detsu 3 days / platinuming this game days, I have 3 characters that I want to put that I've never used in order. So with that stated, let me know what you guys want me to pick later on, because we've got another playthrough to go through. But this is going to be a longer playthrough. Like I said, I platinumed the game, and it took me about, well, you guys saw, it was around like 70 hours all together, and that's platinum. So, I was also paying attention to the story mode and all sorts of stuff, right? With that stated, a lot of the characters, once we go through this, will, how do I explain it? Us doing a Let's Play is a little different from just speeding through the game. So with that said, you can look on the bottom right, and you can see who does the voice overs for each character. So if you recognize any of these Japanese voice actors and actresses, then good on you. I love Yuki Ono. Alright, with that said, so here's the 3 characters that I'm going to play with. So, of course, let's start off with Duran. Alright, he's been all over the cover. He's symbolized as the main character. All these guys are main characters in their own way, but I like that. Alright, now a character that has connection later on. And by the way, if you play with any three of these characters, you're going to run into the other characters that you didn't pick into the story later on. So with that said, I've never used these three in combination. So let's go ahead. Here we go. Let's proceed. And enjoy the story. Think about it, this story was made back in the Super Famicom days, early 90s, so it may seem a little cheesy at times, but think about the times that this game was in. Enjoy.
Oi, Dylan! 出番だぜ。しっかりな。
ただいまより剣術大会若手部門1位決定戦を行う。両者前へ。
お前なんかには負けねえぜ。
やれるもんならやってみな。
始め。
出るぜ。
Alright, so this is the tutorial portion. Alright, with that state, I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed. Alright, first things first. You have your action button. So for the PlayStation, the weak attack, I had to switch my controls per how I liked it, right? Which you can just push start. You go to options. You scroll all the way down and you can do control settings. But these are your controls. This is how I like to have them. You have your weak attack, your power attack, your jump button, and this is how you dodge. Super easy, super simple. Alright? The other stuff comes in later, but it's not as bad as what other games make it out to be. There's some times where I just get overwhelmed by a game. A good game, but I get overwhelmed by the controls. So with that said, if you look on the bottom of my character's screen, right? You have MP, HP. That's your magic points and your hit points, right? That's your life is your hit points, and your magic points are just magic points, right? No need for me to have high magic points. That's why I have 4, because I'm a sword user. That's my weak attack. This is my strong attack. Alright? Now, if you look on that bottom, you'll see that it says 0%. We'll attack characters or enemies in this game and charge that up, because ultimately that's going to be our special. Alright? When I push L2, you have this ring, and it'll show you exactly which special you want to use. So right now, with our low-level character, we only have one special, and that's the square button. Okay, so let's go ahead and attack this guy and get that charged up. You see how it went from 0% to 1%? Now let's try to evade. Now let's try our power attack. I use power attack and evade. Now we can charge it, which will give us all these, which is going to charge our special. Now when I use the L2 button, how I like it, you see how it was canceled out before, but now I can actually use the square button. So let's go. That's our special for that particular move. And as we do class changes and so on and so forth, we'll get more special to hold on to. But anyway, this is the story.
そこまで。デュランの優勝だ。よくやったぞ。腕を上げたな、デュラン。
草原の王国フォルセナの傭兵デュラン。父親は英雄王のかつての友人であり、黄金の騎士と称されるロキであったが、デュランが幼い頃に行方不明となる。親も病気で亡くしてからは、叔母のステラのもとに妹のウェンディと共に引き取られた。父親の思い出はほとんどないものの、やはり血は争えず、剣術において若手の中では右に出るものがないほどの腕で、フォルセナ国の傭兵として英雄王に仕えるようになった。
眠いな。
も
うすぐ交代が来るから、それまでの辛抱だ。俺はちょっくらもう一回りしてくるよ。
パパ、どこに行くの？
ドラゴン大使だよ。今度の敵は竜帝と呼ばれるドラゴン族の中でも最強のやつだ。だが大丈夫。リチャード王子と私なら必ず勝てる。デュラン、お前は男の子だ。妹のウェンディと母さんを頼むぞ。
いってらっしゃい。
シモーヌ、すまない。ロキは私を助けようとして竜帝と差し違え、竜帝と共に底知れぬ穴に落ちていってしまった。私たちはその後1週間そこにとどまってロキの捜索を続けたのだが。
そうですか。あの人は、ロキは最後まで黄金の騎士であり続けたんですね。彼もきっと本望だったと思います。
シモーヌ、しっかり。
ステラ姉さん。
シモーヌ、どうしてこんなになるまで病気を放っておいたんだよ。
私が病気だと知ったら、きっとロキは安心して戦いに行けなかったと思うの。私はあの人の足手まといにはなりたくなかった。
バカだよ。あんたもロキも。
姉さん、子供たちを。
安心しな。あんたの子供たちは私がちゃんと面倒を見てあげるよ。
よかった。ありがとう。
シモーヌ。
いけねえ。うっかり寝ちまった。しっかりしろ。一体何があったんだ。あれは。
So, you guys saw what happened? Now, let me explain. Whenever you see... Oh, I guess they're gonna explain. Whenever you see a silver in these statues, right? Anytime you see these, just go to them. Just go to them. Save your progress. So, let's go ahead. The gold ones heal you, and you can save your progress. We're gonna do data 4. Why not? And the silver ones simply just save your progress. Alright, you can look around, you can talk to certain people, you can use the camera to manipulate the situation, but it's pretty much like an open world thing, right? You couldn't do this back in the Super Famicom, our Super Nintendo, back in the day. But yeah, ultimately, we're gonna go visit the Crimson Wizard, which we're gonna figure out what all of this mess is about, right? But yeah, this is pretty much the game. You can attack, you can fight, you can do all sorts of things, but you're looking for these stars. If you push the map menu, it'll show you where your objective will be. So yeah, you can speedrun this game if you want. Please enjoy it if you want to. But like I said, this game is not hard, even on hard mode. It starts getting hard later on when it comes to expert mode and all the other stuff, but that's New Game Plus. We're just simply playing a Let's Play, so let's go.
待て。何者だ。
なかなか勘の鋭いやつだ。
So now they entertain us with a small battle that you can't
お前
win.
はこの城一番の剣士であることを誇りにしているようだ。だが自分の弱さを思い知るよ。まだまだ子供だな。こんなやつを雇っている英雄王は大した王じゃなさそうだ。
なんだと。国王陛下を悪く言うことは絶対に許さん。
とどめだ。
城内に侵入者がいるぞ。探せ。
命拾いしたな。今日はこれで引き上げる。まあ慌てなくてもこいつのような雑魚相手ならいつでもたやすく我らの占領下に置くことができるだろう。
待て。昨夜城内に侵入した謎の魔導士によって警備についていた者たちがやられ、生き残ったのはデュラン一人。
目撃者の話では赤いマントをつけていたという。噂に聞いたアルテナのグレンの魔導士に違いない。
ではアルテナが不届きにも我がフォルセナにスパイを送り込んだというのか。許せん。向こうが攻めてくる前にこちらから全面攻撃を仕掛けようぞ。
おう。まあ待て。敵がアルテナという確かな証拠があるわけではない。それになぜアルテナが我が国に対して攻撃をしてくるのかもまだ明らかになっていない。昨夜誰にも気づかれずに城内に潜入し、あのデュランでさえもかなわなかった相手。今下手に動けば敵の罠にはまる危険性もある。まず城内の軍備を固めた上でアルテナの様子を調べるためこちらからもスパイを送り込んでくれ。
よい。
アルテナ、断りの女王。なぜフォルセナに？
お兄ちゃん、まだ怪我が治ってないんだから寝てなきゃダメよ。
畜生。赤い魔導士。俺は
お兄ちゃん、しっかりして。お兄ちゃんの弱虫大嫌い。
So, I know this is going to be a long intro, but you're pretty much getting the backstories. So long story short, remember the gold stars that we were showing you earlier? These are them. You just go place to place to actually make sure that you can do what you can do, right? When it comes to the story.
少し街を歩いて頭を冷やそう。
So here, with the money you got, you can visit these shops. And by the way, I have to show you guys this. This is something I have to address. Look at these guys, man. Back in the old Super Famicom days, they were like swapping their hands and so on and so forth. I wish I could show you guys, but if you ever get a chance, just look it up. Just look it up. Like how they used to look. And this is how they translate it into the remaster. They're so ridiculous. Oh my god, they're so ridiculous. I just, oh my god, it's almost unrealistic. Okay, here we go. So let's go to our first star point. This is where you nap, and this is where you sow seeds to plant into items. I know it's a long tutorial, and I apologize for that, but I have to show you guys as much as I can so that you guys can get used to how the game functions. You go star to star, you rest, you buy items, like I showed you earlier with the swords and the shield, which is pretty much your offensive moves and your defensive moves. And then this is where you rest at the ends. The old fortune teller was right. I must go back for more guidance. Okay. Alright, they're gonna give us more hints, more or less. But eventually we'll collect items that will make it so that we can rest in the inns for free. We can get discounts at shops. But ultimately, our goal right now is to break stuff, to see if there's anything in them, and then pick up stuff. There we go. We got some money. What do you have to say? The Crimson Wizard is legendary, but I would never have thought that coward was a bloodthirsty spy. Okay? Let's find the next one. Depending on your button layout, for us, the PlayStation 5 is you just push down the button. You'll see the icon on the bottom left go from black, where he's running, to green, where he's sprinting. Okay? There's no stamina meter or anything like that. Make sure you, especially when you go place to place, you push down that button to sprint. Okay, on here you can hit the map and the center button on the PlayStation 5. But if you take a look, there's a lot of things that you can go to, talk to, do things with, right? The little candy in the candy wrapper, that's just a place where you can buy like healing items, so on and so forth, right? Me being up here, you want to collect treasure chests, especially if you're 100%ing the game. Alright, one of the requirements is get 100 chests, and another requirement is get 200 chests. So with that said, right now for Lucre, that Lucre is money. If you press the start menu, these are your items, okay? You can actually put them on a ring menu in battle. So anytime you want to use battle items, set them up how you want to set them. You just click the button and then you put them anywhere in there. Right now we only have one item. There's magic items, projectiles, class items, key items, and seeds. Seeds are what's going to grow into other items. So like I said with earlier during the inn where you had that pot, yep, that's where you grow the seeds. Alright, you can look around the map. They often hide them in like lucrative places, stuff like this, where you can just simply like pick up something just like that. Get an item seed and then you run all the way back to the inns or any pot area. Wow, I can't talk today. Any pot area. So I like to use the inns because they often have one. You just grab one, you literally just plant it, and it'll build your plant meter to actually get you better stuff later on the more you do it. So we got a honey elixir, and you saw how my meter grew. The max you can get is 5, level 5. So with that said, let's continue with our journey. Now, once we find this new guy or girl, let's see what they have to say. How can we rest easy when Castle Valsina itself was assaulted. I should ask the fortune teller. So now we got a clue. Let's go to the fortune teller. If you look on the top right, you will see exactly a small map on where to go for our next gold star, which is pretty much the game. You find gold star to gold star.
ここは占いの館じゃ。なんじゃ、ずいぶんとしけた面の客じゃのう。
なんだと。
人の運命は 99% まであらかじめ決まっておる。じゃが残り 1% に未来があり夢がある。人はその 1% をこう呼ぶ。希望と。お主、何か悩み事を抱えておるのじゃろう。どれ、この占いババが占ってしんぜよ。
うるせえ。俺は占いなんか信じねえ。力だ。信じられるのは力だけなんだ。やいババア、どうすりゃ俺は強くなれるんだ。
何するんだよ、この乱暴者。そんなに強くなりたきゃ生徒ウェンデルへでも行きな。光の司祭ってのがクラスチェンジの方法を知ってるってさ。
クラスチェンジ。
あんたみたいなひよっこはひよこ戦士にでもクラスチェンジするんだね。さあ、とっとと出てっておくれよ。
So now she introduced us to the class changing system.
あの紅蓮の魔導士に勝つためなら何だってやるぜ。よし、一丁生徒ウェンデルまで行ってみるか。
So pretty much the class change system is simply taking a character like this, and if we look in their stats, saying, hey, this is a fighter, but I don't want him to be a fighter. Later on, we can change their classes to actually upgrade the character itself, and on top of that, switch them to how we want to switch them. So with that said, let's go to our next checkpoint. If you can see around the map, you'll see a lot of cool stuff like these pots and things, right? You break them apart, get cool stuff. And then we're also missing this. Another item seed, which we can grow later on. Let's go to our next checkpoint. And here, we're coming upstairs. This is Duran's actual
あ
room.
の紅蓮の魔導士を許さない。何があっても必ず倒してやる。それまではここには帰れない。帰らない。
And there we go.
Wendy、ステラおばさん、ごめん。
お待ち。
おばさん。
ほら、同じブロンズソードだけど、こっちの剣と取り替えてきな。
これは
あんたの父さんが若い頃に使っていた剣さ。ロキもこの剣で剣術大会に優勝したんだよ。決勝で英雄を破ってね。さあ行きな。ウェンディには私からちゃんと言っておくから、後のことは大丈夫。旅立つ前にお城に寄って王様に挨拶していきなさい。お待ちになってるよ。
国王陛下が。
ロキの息子ならきっと旅立とうとするはずだって。さすがだね。 まあ私も伊達にあんたたちの母親代わりをしてたわけじゃないから、そうなるとは思ってたけどね。
おばさん、ありがとう。きっと戻ってくるよ。
So much support. Now we start our journey. So much support. That's so awesome. Here we go. That's so dope, man.
旅立つのか、デュランよ。
王様、私が不甲斐ないばかりにむざむざと敵を逃がしてしまい、誠に申し訳ありません。私はあの魔導士だけは許すことができないのです。生まれて初めて敗北を喫したばかりでなく、我が国王陛下を侮辱したあの魔導士を、私はあの魔導士に打ち勝つまではこの城には戻れません。
そうか、分かった。気をつけて行くのだぞ。
ありがとうございます。
あいついい目になりおった。以前はプライドが高すぎて心配だったのだが、ロキの若い頃にそっくりだ。
And there it goes. So everybody's story and their backstories are all interesting. It's up to you if you want to play all 6 of the story modes, but this is it. This is the game. You find your checkpoints, you do what you have to do, you look at the map, you get your weapons, which we're gonna do right now. We've got our bronze sword that she gave us. Alright, you can actually get certain equipable items, and depending on the class, you can actually get a shield. And with Duran, I want to get a shield through this Let's Play. Alright? And this is where you get like certain things, like just like I said before, you can talk to them, so on and so forth. We don't have that much money right now. What we're gonna do is one more thing. We're going to go to the rest shop real quick. Remember we got that seed earlier. We're gonna go ahead and plant it. That way it can grow our level meter on the top right, and then on top of that can give us something that we can use in battle. Alright? And then we can rest into the morning. And then once we rest, we can go on our journey. But there's a lot to talk about in this game. Okay, guys? So with that said, let's go ahead and save the game. And thank you guys for watching. I know it's been a long Let's Play introduction. I know there's a lot of information dump on this one. But yeah, I want to tell you guys, please stay tuned for this one, because like I said, I platinumed this game. There's a lot to this game that we can play together. And please pick up this game. It is a great, heartfelt remaster of the original Seiken Densetsu 3 that we never got in North America. Have a good rest of your day, night, evening, and take care.